Winnie. Oh, she's trying to get a toy. She's too cute. Ready? Winnie, come. Yes, good job. So Miss W is doing a really great job in the program. Yes, nice check-in. So I noticed that she had a nice little trail mix of goodies, some of them being goldfish pretzels. So I would just on a cautionary note, this doesn't mean your puppy can't have human products. So remember, like, food is food, especially if it's non-fooled around. So blueberries are blueberries for everybody. It doesn't make it only a human product to consume. The problem sometimes with certain snacks for dogs is that they're highly processed for even people too, but for dogs, we want to be careful with the amount of salt that's going into them. So I don't think that she has enough to become sick or get a tummy upset or get injured by it. But really salty, fatty, rich foods are a little bit dangerous for your babe's system. Too much salt can be sort of toxic. So we want to be a little cautionary as to what types of goodies we're giving and maybe the amounts. So again, like I mentioned today, I don't think this is going to be an issue for her. But I would just be on a cautionary note for some of the things we might give the babes. Nice. So right here, we're just warming up with these beautiful Find Its with orientation back to the handler. Miss W is doing a stellar job. Yes, nice job, cutie. But then I want to go into warming up with a little bit of some loose leash walking, even off gear, and then we'll practice putting her harness on, and I'll make sure it's feeling comfortable for her too, because I know you guys just got this brand new one, and it looks quite nice, by the way. I love the color combo. So I know right now she's a naked woman, which is fine. So right here, we're just feeding for all of this lovely next to the handler moments. Yes. Chewing is optional sometimes, though she does do a pretty good job. Yes. Gorgeous. Yes. What a smart girl. So this is looking really pretty. So then sometimes from here, I'm going to take one of her snacks and send her off to go get distracted. And just like I did a little earlier with Mr. B, see if she can reorient to me. Yes. Feed for that lovely engagement, or feed for being by the leg again and working a little bit with that loose leash walking. Yes. She's a hungry lady. Always a hungry lady. Me too. She's doing beautiful. Nice. So then from here, we might even bring her into a little front position. Yes. So even if the fronts for right now don't involve a sit, no big deal. It's pretty much going from your side, be it leg on your left or right side, to then being back in front of you and then going from there. So we could be walking. Maybe we see something up ahead and we go into a front and we bring the puppy into the front of our body again, so she's facing the opposite direction from the thing. Yes. Good job. Ready? Find it. And then from there, we'll see if she can reorient back to me. Yes. Nice. So these are the types of games or exercises I would also do within your home. But then if you can, if you don't have a fenced-in yard, no big deal. You could also rock these skills on a long leash or training lead. You can also let them drag it if it's a safe place to do so. So that way you don't have to necessarily be attached. But if, let's say, she got too distracted or started to wander, you could then rein up the lead or step on it and then help her redirect to a better skill. Nice. So we'll maybe do a couple little Find Its with some recalls. Ready? Winnie, come. Yes, what a good girl. Nice work. So we'll do another little, ready? Find it. She's doing great. Winnie, come. Yes, what a smart girl. So good. Ready? Find it. She's like, oh my gosh, where'd it go? It went that way. She's like, I didn't see it. There we go. We'll send her that way. She's too cute. Winnie. Yes. So sometimes even if you're not ready, like I know I've mentioned this in some previous videos with the beauties, is you're still going to feed and sort of capture the moments where your puppy is being successful, even if you didn't ask for it. So if there could be a moment where I didn't get to say the cue word for coming when called, excuse me, but the puppy did come to my space, I would still go yes and feed the puppy for coming to you. That was very pretty. So maybe from here, I want to take a peek, see over her harness. It's very, very cute. So this one's very nice too. So it's adjustable in all the different points, which is great because for some puppies, as they're growing and changing, I know I'd recommended a few harnesses, but like what I mentioned, there's a whole slew out there. So you found another brand that seemed to fit and work to her body sort of sizing, which is great. So because remember, every puppy is going to be a little different. Some of them might have deeper chests. Some might have maybe more length to their body, and they need the straps that would go by the armpits a little further back. So that's where having the strap that's adjustable on the back and in the chest area between the two front legs is going to be really crucial. So this one's nice. It does have the buckle technically on both sides of the tummy. It doesn't have a buckle around the neck, but if she does not mind having something going over her head, you're no big deal there. For some puppies, they do have a little bit of a fear with putting something over their head, and that's something that maybe they're working on. So for some puppies, having a clip around the neck can be helpful, but no worries. So this one looks perfect. So we'd unclip the tummy. I normally like to do one side versus both, but it's whatever makes sense for you. If your puppy tends to want to eat the harness, I'd recommend to sometimes hold the gear and feed them for giving other skills instead. So Miss W just kind of hanging out and watching the crazy snack lady, that's a win because she's not jumping, she's not mouthing, she's not going for the gear. So I typically like to have a little bit of snacks, and maybe what I'll do is I'll send her away so we can set her up more this way so you can see her better. So I like to have some goodies on me. I put it through the neck hole, and I'm just going to lure her here so you can kind of see her, put it right over her cute little head. And then while she's hanging out here, she's like, it was touching me, is I like to feed the floor, put the first little leg through. And then when she's busy eating, grab the part here for her tummy and clip it on. Good job. So this actually feels quite nice on her. I think we could adjust a teeny bit, but not by much. So I think it feels pretty good. So you want to make sure the harness, you can fit a finger or so in there. Oh, she found the snack she missed earlier, the fish. So if your harness, for example, is so snug that when they sit down, it's almost like squeezing their rib cage, it's way too snug. You want to be able to see the harness like lay comfortably on her, where you can kind of see right now is there is a gap between her armpit and where the harness lays. So if that was, oh, she's like, where'd you throw it? I threw it that way, ma'am. Ready, find it. So if the harness was really close to where her armpit is here, it's going to maybe rub. So we want to make sure that the strap on her back and the strap between her front legs here is far enough loosened where it lays the whole harness a little further back on her. This one looks quite nice. So you're not getting any of like the armpit or elbow rubbing, which is good. Because for some puppies, if those parts are non-adjustable, like her other harness that she was growing out of, which was, perfectly good, that one, as she was starting to get a little bit bigger, it was starting to head towards her armpit zone where it maybe could get a little uncomfortable or chafe. Nice check-ins, ma'am. So right here, she's doing a beautiful job rocking this harness. So we might go ahead and start walking again. So, but gear shouldn't like affect your babe's behavior. She says, I lost my goldfish. Ready? So if when you're practicing, trying to reach for gear gets her too excited or overwhelmed, try to make gear just one more thing that's out and about while you're doing other skills. And then that way it doesn't always trigger or equal this other thing. Ready? Find it. Gorgeous. Winnie, come. Yes, what a good girl. You're so smart. So, but the harness does look quite nice on her and very pretty color combo, as I mentioned earlier. Ready? Find it. Nice. Winnie, come. Such a good girl. So I want to try a little bit with her also going to her target bed and just working a little bit with that place once more. She's doing a really good job with all the other little skills too. Her engagement with the handler is getting really nice with her loose leash walking practice. Ready? What a smart girl. She's like, and I'm ready. So again, we're just going to feed for placing on the target spot first. She's like, watch, she's a wiggly worm. Ready? Bed? Yes. So if she thinks it's kind of fun, you could also just make it fun about targeting. So like, let's say we might have her hop off, but I give her no food. Ready? Bed? Yes. And we target the moment she lands on it is the moment you'd mark and feed her. So again, I'm gonna have some food ready. We're gonna have her slide off. We're gonna go again. Ready? Bed? Yes. I love that she jumps onto it. Nice job. Yes, smart girl. So now I'm again feeding just several bonus bits for being on it. We're building again value in that target spot. Oh, shucks. Always sad when you drop your goodies. Ready? She's like, that's okay. She likes them either way. So then we might go ahead, have her kind of follow me off the cot. She's like, I have to get the crumb I lost. Good job. Ready, Winnie? Bed. Yes. So let's say she's doing a really nice job placing on her target spot. So now we might go ahead and implement, again, maybe a down or a sitting position or something that you want to give a try for. Then you're going to tell her to stay. And again, you're going to practice and I know, remember in class, so she got up a little bit for dad too, is we're going to go ahead and bring her back to the bed. Yes, feed her for that. If she does better in a sit, stay, start there. So I'm going to go stay. And I'm not going to add tons of distance. So remember, when you're trying to generalize a skill in either a new environment, with a new person, with different criteria, I'd make sure to, again, think about those 3 Ds. So there's your duration would be step number 1 is typically what I like to work on, which is how long can my puppy do something or hold a position or wait between an interval and still do well. So in the beginning, it's going to be short and sweet. So like maybe there's 15 snacks, but it's only been 15 seconds, and every second she was given a little tidbit. Nice. I'm just going to grab a cough drop for me, not a dog snack. Sometimes when I blab the whole day, it gets all tickly and it's very dry in here. So right here, I'm just feeding throughout the sit stay. Let's say I want to end this exercise. I'm going to feed her last little tidbit again. I'm going to say all done. I might give a little bit of some touch. And then we get up and we wiggle, but there's no food given for leaving our target spot. So right here, yes, I'm going to feed for that. So you can just throughout it build in going to your spot is very good. And if like we wander away, there's no food given, I didn't apply the stay. So right now I'm just working with going to your bed. Ready? Bed? Yes. So we might get our little sit and then yes to feed that. And now I'm going to tell her to stay. So then while she's in her sit stay, I'm going to do a little bit of like maybe leaning or moving, but I'm not going to add tons of distance. I'm not going to throw in lots of distractions like I tried doing with Mr. B earlier. I'm just going to go ahead and see if she can rock it. So notice how if I take too big of a side step or I'm moving too much, bed. She may have a harder time, stay. Because again, she hasn't really worked this the same way she has with, let's say, you guys, that she has with me. So getting them to feel the same way about a skill set with many different people does take some time. So generalization is one of those things that we do want to work on. So again, she is still staying. Yes. So if let's say your time frame was getting better, what I mean by that, as opposed to every 2 to 3 seconds feeding her, you might be every 5 to 7 seconds feeding. That doesn't mean that you all of a sudden have a long time from between snacks and throw in distance and other distractions or harder steps. So I'd still first work with time frame and build up bigger, smaller, medium-sized duration moments. She's doing a very nice job. So let's say we're going to end this stay position. I'm going to go back and feed her last little morsel. I'm going to tell her all done, and then we can get up and we can break from our spot. So again, for building up the stay as being the best part of it, is that's when you're only being fed while in it. So it builds up the value in being in that spot. So we're going to again bed. I get that little sit. I'm going to tell her to stay. I'm going to just feed for that little moment. So she's rocking that stay. So I'm going to see if I can add a little bit of wiggles. Not too much, just a little. Yes. So notice how if I add too much, it's too challenging. Ready? Bed. Sit. Stay. So I'm not going to make it too hard. So you're going to figure out sort of in different environments and with different types of distractions where your puppy's level of okay might be. So just because your puppy can rock a downstay around your kitchen while you're doing all different things does not mean they're going to rock a downstay in your yard the exact same way. So this is where a lot of times people are like, my puppy's stubborn, or my puppy's opinionated, or my puppy doesn't listen. And what's actually going on is your puppy is confused. They probably don't understand what's being asked of them. And at times the environment or the place we're practicing is a place they've never actually rehearsed the skill in. So to get your puppy to do really well in many different venues, that does require making sure that the basic skill is more refined in the, let's say, the softer zones, but then you start, this is very, very nice, yes. But then you start to build in this very easy step into different environments. So you can't go from level, let's say 50 inside the home where she's doing amazing, and then bring the exact same level of difficulty out to the yard or on the walk. So you'd have to almost start from square one in those new places. Yes. And I know this doesn't seem like a big deal to have her just hang out, but this is really hard for youngsters. Nice. So let's say on this last rep, we're going to give her a little break. Nice. So all done, and we get up and we wiggle. So if she gets a little stuck, I might even add a little bit of touch and then wiggle my fingers, but I'm not feeding her. I'm just getting her up and moving. That was really pretty, ma'am. That was really hard. So let's say she's been doing a really nice job with that. We're going to give her a little break and take a little moment from working the place behavior and work a little bit with some find it's with recall or maybe even some weights. Good job, cutie. Oops, tripping on my rubber floors. So with your weight behavior, that could be a sit or a down. It could also be standing. Weight is going to be different than that stay. So again, with the weight, we would have her be sitting or downing. She could be standing if, let's say, one of those was too hard. I'm going to tell her to wait and just have her hold back for a second. Chewing is hard from prior. And then I'm going to go, Winnie, come. So she's being called towards me or released to go grab something or going and retrieving something. But the wait is hold back, sir or ma'am, until I call you. So again, sit. So I'm just going to feed for that because that was really pretty. I'm going to tell her to wait. Winnie, come. Yes, so very pretty. If this is getting a little too hard for your babe and holding still seems really silly, do a find it, get them up and wiggling, and then call them from the find it. So Winnie, come. Yes. So again, we'll send her away, find it. Winnie, come. Yes. So you can still have successful recalls from either your weights or from sometimes just the environment. She's like, oh, there's the darn snack. Winnie, come. Yes, what a good girl. So smart. Such a good job. So maybe we'll do another little find it. We'll do one more little recall, and then we'll give her a little breather from this one. Winnie, come. Yes. Nice job. So if she's doing a really good job, but sometimes you find she passes by you, as you're calling her into your space, you can also call her and then do a find it right here. So it almost gives her a moment to pause, take a break, and then slow down. The other option is, let's say as she comes to you from the environment, do that recall or whatever it might have been from a little find it. Then what you can do is from here, when she's just about done, Winnie, come. We could feed her, but then feed her multiple snacks for being there. Oops, she says, I lost that one. Of course, you could drop them. That works too. But then you feed her multiple snacks for, oh my gosh, chew them, ma'am. Everybody has a hard time chewing their snackers. You okay? She's like, hold up, gotta hawk it up. My goodness. Oh, yoy. Better now? Yes, it's better when you chew them. So with our gorgeous gal, that was very impressive, is getting her to sometimes have several goodies given for coming to you, like that little jackpot, can also keep her there for a little bit longer when otherwise she might do a like, hey, how are you? And drive on by again. Good job, cutie. So we'll give Miss W a little break from some of these, but then we'll work a few more skills with the gorgeous gal in just a moment.